Hello students, let us discuss ideal gas and real gas in the chapter States of Matter. As we have already learned this equation, PV is equal to nRT, that is an ideal gas equation. Here there is a relationship between pressure, volume and temperature for the gases. So in order to test this equation, let us make a plot, that is a plot between PV and P, that is PV versus P plot. When we make it, as we know that at a constant temperature, PV is a constant. As we have learned that law, that is Boyle's law. According to Boyle's law, at a constant temperature, PV is constant. That is, pressure into volume is constant. So when we increases the pressure, but still the pressure volume relationship, because it is a constant, so we'll be getting the same value. So in the plot we will be getting a parallel line, that is a straight line parallel to the x-axis, because pressure volume, this product is a constant, that is at constant temperature PV is constant. So when we increase the pressure, but still at all the pressure we'll be getting the PV value same as it is. So we'll be saying that the PV is constant. So we are getting a straight line which is parallel to the x-axis as it is shown in the plot here. But it is seen that at a constant temperature, the plot, that is PV versus P plot for the real gases, is not straight line. Like the case of these gases are the real gases. For these, it is not straight line. There is a significant deviation from the ideal behavior. When you check this straight line, that is, this straight line is the showing ideal gas, that means in which the PV is a constant. So that is we are representing for the ideal gas. But for the real gases like carbon monoxide, methane, when you check here, it is not a straight line. It shows a significant deviation from the ideal behavior. Here two types of curves are seen, that is in the curve for dihydrogen and helium. As the pressure increases, the value of PV also increases. Therefore, its plot are in this way, that is showing a significant deviation from the ideal gas plot. And the second type of the plot is seen in which the cases like carbon monoxide and methane, first the plot is decreases, that it shows a negative deviation. First the plot is decreasing and it reaches to a minimum value with the increase in the pressure. Then the plot increases and it crosses the line of ideal gases. So and then it shows positive deviation. So that is two type of deviations are shown here, positive deviation and negative deviation. So here there is a negative deviation and here there is a positive deviation. So in the real gases, it shows two types of behavior here, that is either positive deviation or the negative deviation from the ideal gas plot. That means the real gases shows a deviation from the ideal gas that we need to discuss here. From this plot, it is clear that the real gases do not follow ideal gas equation perfectly under all the conditions. Even the deviation from the ideal behavior also explained when we make a plot between the pressure versus volume plot is drawn. As the pressure versus volume plot of experimental data, that is for real gases, and that of theoretical calculated from the Boyle's law, that is ideal gas, should not coincide. When you look at here, these two are not coincide. So in this figure, it is clear that it is apparent that at very high pressure, the measured volume is more than the calculated volume. And at low pressure, the measured and calculated volumes approach each other. It means that at high pressure, the ideal gas plot and the real gas plot are not coinciding. That means at high pressure, the measured volume is more than the calculated volume. But at low pressure, you can see the two plots are nearly coinciding. That means at low pressure, the measured and calculated volumes are approaching to each other. So from these two plots, it is clear that the real gases do not follow the ideal gas equation perfectly in all the conditions. This is, we can say that real gases do not obey ideal gas equation under all the conditions. So how we define an ideal gases? Ideal gases obeys all the gas laws under all the conditions of temperature and pressure. But the real gases obeys gas law only at low pressure and high temperature. That means the real gases do not obeys the ideal gas equation under all condition. It only obeys this law under the condition that is low pressure and high temperature. That is, the equation for ideal gas PV is equal to nRT, but for the real gases we can say that PV is not equal to nRT. So we can say that a real gas is a gaseous compound that rarely exists in the environment. So whatever gases are existing in the environment, they are the real gases. But ideal gas is a hypothetical gas, that is imaginary gas that does not really exist in the environment. So it is only for comparing with the real gases. It is actually the ideal gas is imaginary, or we can say hypothetical gas which does not really exist in the environment. It is found that real gases do not follow Boyle's law, Charles' law, and Avogadro's law perfectly under all conditions. Now the two question arises. Why do gases deviate from the ideal behavior? What are the conditions under which the gases deviate from ideality? We get the answer of the first question if we look it into the postulates of kinetic theory once again. We find it out the two assumptions of the kinetic theory do not hold good. These are: there is no force of attraction between the molecules of gases. Second point, that is the second assumption, volume of the molecules of a gas is negligibly small in comparison to the space occupied by the gas. So if the assumption A is correct, the gas will never liquefy. But you are familiar that the gases can be liquefied. That is, the gases like liquefied petroleum gases, that is, the petroleum gas can be liquefied by increasing the pressure. That is, by applying the pressure, we can compress the gas, and in the low temperature, we can liquefy the gas. So that shows that the assumption A is actually incorrect, as the assumption A says that there is no force of attraction between the molecules of gases. That leads to the ideal gas equation. If it is there is no force of attraction, the gases must not be liquefied. But you can liquefy a gas at low temperature and high pressure. So it shows that this assumption, that is the A assumption, is incorrect. It shows that there must exist a force of attraction between the molecules of gas. According to the second assumption, that is volume of the molecules of the gases is negligibly small in comparison to the space occupied by the gas. That means whatever space is occupied, when you compare that space, in that space the volume of the real volume of the molecule is negligible. So when you compare this much of volume, the volume of that particles, that is molecules of gases, is negligible. So uh, while showing the ideal gas behavior, this condition was put forward that the volume of the molecules of gases is negligible. But actually there is some volume of that molecule. It must be there. So because of this, the second assumption is made incorrect. So that shows that the real gases shows deviation from the ideal gas law because molecules must interact with each other. So that's why the real gases show the deviation from the ideal gas law, because there is some force of interaction between the molecules, and the volume of the gases should not be made negligible. There should be some volume of the gases. At high pressure, molecules of gases are very close to each other. That is shown here. The molecules are very close to each other. So the molecular interaction starts operating. That means the molecule-molecule interaction will be shown here when the gas is at high pressure. So because of this, the molecules do not strike the wall. It do not strike the wall of the container with full impact, because these gases are dragged by the other molecules due to the molecular attractive forces. As a result, the pressure exerted by the gas is lower than the pressure exerted by the ideal gas. So, the pressure exerted by the real gas is seen to be less in compared to the pressure exerted when it is compared with the ideal gas. Why? Because there is a force of interaction between the particle, as when we increase the pressure, the particles are quite close. When the particles are quite close, they interact with each other. So they will not hit the container with full impact. So because of this reason, the pressure which is exerted will be less. That's why the pressure for the real gases is compared with when ideal, it will be less. So how much will be the less? So in order to equate this value, how much is the less value that will be added? So that is a correction term here. So then the P ideal is equal to the P real plus that correction term. That is P ideal is equal to P real, that is the pressure for the real gas, plus AN square by V square, where V is the volume. Here A is a constant. What about the volume? As in the kinetic theory, it was made an assumption that the particles, that is the gaseous particles, its volume is negligible. But when we consider the actual volume of the gaseous particles, then definitely the volume of the real gases will be greater than the ideal. So how much it is greater? So we have to subtract that value, then we'll be getting the V ideal is equal to V real minus NB. So that is NB is a correction term here. So V ideal is equal to V real minus NB. So we got the two equation here. So V ideal is equal to V real minus NB, where B is a constant value, that is a constant for the different gases, and we got P ideal is equal to P real plus AN square by V square, where A is a constant for the different, which is a constant, and it is a different for the different gases. So when you combine this equation, as we know that what is that ideal equation? PV is equal to nRT. That is for the ideal case. PV is equal to nRT. That is P ideal, V ideal is equal to nRT. So in the place of P ideal, we'll be keeping this equation. That is, we'll be keeping this equation, and in the place of V ideal, we'll be keeping this equation. So we got the equation, that is P real or it is can be written as observed. So P real plus A n by V square, sorry, A n square by V square into V minus NB is equal to nRT. So this equation is called as van der Waals equation of the state. That is P plus A n square by V square into V minus NB, that is equal to nRT. So the real gases obeys this law. As the ideal gases behave, PV is equal to nRT equation, but the real gases obeys this law, that is the van der Waals equation. This equation is called as van der Waals equation of the state. Thus, gases show ideal behavior when the volume occupied is large, so that volume of the molecules can be neglected in comparison to it. In other words, the behavior of the gas becomes more ideal when the pressure is very low. So, the real gases behave like an ideal gas when the pressure is very low. So, up to what pressure the gases will follow the ideal gas law depends only on the nature of the gas and its temperature. So, the real gases can behave like an ideal gas at low pressure. And what is that pressure? That is depending upon the nature of the gas and its temperature. And the temperature at which the real gas obeys ideal gas law over an appreciable range of pressure, that temperature is called as what? Boiling temperature or boil point. What is that? As we have discussed, the real gases shows ideal gas behavior at very low pressure, and that pressure is depending upon the nature of the gas and also the temperature. So at what temperature a particular gas show ideal behavior, that appreciable range of pressure, that temperature is called as Boiling temperature. It's important definition. So from this it is clear that real gases behave like an ideal gas at low pressure and at high temperature. Thus, the deviation from ideal behavior can be expressed in terms of compressibility factor, that is Z. Z is equal to PV by nRT. Mathematically, it is equal to PV by nRT. So, how we define compressibility factor? That is, the deviation from the ideal behavior can be expressed in terms of compressibility factor, which is actually the ratio of PV and nRT. So, Z is equal to PV nRT. How we got this equation? Because we know that the ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. But for the real gases which is not equal, so in that case PV by nRT is equal to some value. What is that value? That is nothing but the Z. So for the ideal gases, Z is equal to 1 at all the temperature because PV is equal to nRT. But for the real gases, the value of Z can be greater than 1 or less than 1. If it is greater than 1, then it is saying that it shows positive deviation, like the case of here, these gases in which shows positive deviation where the value of Z is greater than 1. So here, this plot, 1 value is for the ideal gas. Then Z is equal to 1, that is for ideal gas. If the gases shows the value of Z greater than 1, then we can say that that type of gases shows positive deviation. And the gases in which the value of Z is less than 1, we can say that that type of gases shows negative deviation from the ideal behavior. So that is, we can say that according to the ideal gas, PV is equal to nRT. So that means PV by nRT is equal to 1, that is Z is equal to 1. For which case? For the ideal gas, Z is equal to 1 because PV is equal to nRT. But for the real gases, PV is not equal to 1. That means Here the value of Z can be greater than 1 or less than 1. As Z is equal to PV by nRT. That is for the case of real gases. So what will be the V ideal? V ideal is equal to nRT by P. So on putting the value of nRT by P in the equation, this, so we'll be getting Z is equal to V real by V ideal. So from this what we got the relation? Z is equal to V real by V ideal. So that is all about the compressibility factor. It is very important definition also. That is what is a compressibility factor. So let us differentiate between ideal gases and real gases. Ideal gases obeys all the gas laws under all the conditions of temperature and pressure. That is, it obeys the gas laws like Boyle's law, Charles' law and the Avogadro's law. But the real gases obeys the gas law only at low pressure and high temperature. So it shows only that ideal behavior at low pressure and high temperature, not at all temperature and pressure. Next, the volume occupied by the molecule is negligible as compared to the total volume occupied by the gases. In the case of ideal gases, it was assumed that the real volume of the gas molecule is negligible in compared to the total volume of the gases. But in the real gases, the volume of the gases molecule is not negligible. It is considered. That volume is also considered. So here the volume occupied by the molecules is not negligible. That is important here. It is negligible here. It is not negligible here as compared to the total volume of the gas. That means the volume of the gases molecules are considered in the real gases, but it is not considered in the ideal gases. And the force of attraction among the molecules are negligible here, but here the force of attraction are not negligible at all temperature and pressure. So thus the ideal gas equation is PV is equal to nRT, but the real gases shows which they does not follow this ideal gas equation. For this they have van der Waals equation, that is P plus AN square by V square into V minus NV is equal to nRT, where A and B are the constant values. So these are the differences between ideal gas and real gases. So this is all about this video. Have a nice day.